Kahele is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mahalo, Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Rogers, and aloha, Madam Secretary and General McConville. In your joint written testimony, you stated strategic readiness involves installation capabilities to mobilize, train, and deploy formations and then sustain them from the homeland. I would like to ask a question regarding the Hawaii Infrastructure Readiness Initiative, which the Army has committed to a 10-year, $1 billion program to invest in Army infrastructure in Hawaii. This will be roughly $100 million per year. It's mostly MILCON. The funds are essential in repairing, renovating, and constructing facilities that USRPAC has identified as critical to meeting the DoD strategic plans for the Indo-Pacific region. By the Army's own admission in 2019, approximately 45% of all Army infrastructure in Hawaii is failing, putting efforts to meet operational needs at risk. The total cost to repair that infrastructure is $1.1 billion, and the cost to address the deficit of that infrastructure is $3 billion. HIRE addresses several major facility and infrastructure deficiencies, including aviation maintenance facilities, operations facilities, tactical equipment maintenance facilities, the Pohakuloa training area, and a vital MILCON project, the West Lock ammunition storage facility. Recently, competing demands within the Army have caused a delay of HIRE projects. Additionally, there is a perceived cap of $100 million for HIRE projects within the Army that are causing several projects to be broken up into several smaller projects to meet this arbitrary cap. And as a result, many projects are now more expensive than if executed as a single project. So my question, Madam Secretary, is how can we accelerate the timeline of HIRE and help the Army save money by allowing projects to be executed as a whole instead of a piecemeal development strategy?
Thank you, Congressman, for that question. First of all, our footprint in Hawaii is very, very important, particularly as we look to the Indo-Pacific theater. And we remain committed to the Hawaii Infrastructure, Readiness Initiative. We are, as you know, we're balancing our people, taking care of our people. We're balancing readiness. We're balancing modernization. So we are having to make some hard choices. I think what I would like to do is look into the issues that you raised in more detail, particularly the issue of potentially the fact that we're breaking up larger projects into smaller projects, to see what we might be able to do to accelerate things. But again, part of this is we are balancing, and we have an overall facilities improvement plan that we use to guide what we're doing. But we are committed to the infrastructure in Hawaii, so I'll look into that and get back to you.
Okay, thank you. Sticking with the Indo-Pacific, and I'll, my colleague from Ohio raised this earlier, and I am also concerned that, just in the last hour and 20 minutes of this hearing, we've talked about China multiple times. We always talk about China in this committee, and I'm concerned that some of the talking points that come out of the Pentagon are not reflected in the sense of urgency to respond to China. And in reviewing the Army's budget and its FY22 budget requests, I'm concerned we're not dedicating enough funding to the Pacific and Indo-PACOM. In the Army's Pacific Deterrence Initiative request of about $1.8 billion, that's $1.5 billion less than the Army's request for EDI, which is $3.43 billion. As we pivot to the Pacific and China and their rapidly advancing military, Sir General, does this budget meet, in your opinion, the future needs of the Army to fight, to win in the Pacific, to deter China from taking any more territory in the region, to support and keep our forces in the first island chain, to add more troop rotations, more exercises that can prepare us for China and for potential conflicts in the Western Pacific?
Well, I think that what's in the budget, it does, Congressman, as far as setting it, but there's some long-term, there's a strategic posture review that's going on right now that's going to inform what type of investments should be made. We certainly have contingencies for that. We're taking a look at that. And just going back to the 25th in Schofield Barracks, where I had a chance to serve. Those barracks are something we really want to get after. Really concerned about the soldiers living there. They do an incredible job, and we want to get after them as soon as we get the resources to make that happen.
All right, thank you. 30 seconds, Madam Secretary. Anything in regards to the Pentagon's budget and PDI?
Again, I know that we're looking again department-wide at PDI to make sure that we're reflecting congressional intent. But I think we have 69,000 troops aligned with the Indo-PACOM with USRPAC, and the focus of our modernization is really to get after the China threat.
Okay, mahalo. Mahalo, Mr. Chairman. I yield the remainder of my time.
Thank you. Ms. Bice is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary and General